The last 18 months as an international NGO have been a challenge. It's been all about survival. You know, we've had low staff numbers, low supplies, a huge caseload at the hospital. We've been fit to bursting for essentially 2 years. What that means is that we've actually had to put our outreach programs on hold, not only because we're understaffed and undersupplied, but also due to local coronavirus restrictions. So we are super happy to be back where we belong, which is in the community, providing the care for the street dogs that is really, really going to make an impact. We're just unpacking bags. So every time a new staff member comes or a volunteer, we make them a pack horse.
Crikey.
Yeah.
Where's Charles gonna sit? Yeah, just come here today to just check over, make sure I know where everything is, make sure it's all organised.
Oh my goodness. You're really so video then.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Thank you.
So for 1,000 dogs, we're having to order quantities like 2,200 bottles of rabies, 100 bottles of ketamine, so yeah, some large quantities being ordered.
Yeah, set up the CNVR things at the moment, like all the dog catchy areas.
Daily workout, stand back. Rats.
We are hoping to neuter over 1,000 dogs in the next 20 days, and we're starting our program here in Hirikatia. Hirikatia was a hidden gem on the south coast of Sri Lanka when we first arrived 7 years ago. We have so far neutered over 600 dogs in this small little village over the years, but since then tourism has discovered it, the place has exploded, and the locals now rely really, really heavily on tourist income. So we're here to try and support them with that. Predominantly, you know, this whole thing is about providing the best care for the dogs, but if we can support the local community while we do it as well, that is an added bonus. This is location 2, so we are here in Gandhara, which is our hood, it's our hometown. We're actually only a couple of 100 metres away from the hospital, but the reason we wanted to do the clinic in this space is so that we can do a lot more dogs. This part of the programme will help us a lot in terms of reducing the numbers of unwanted puppies and kittens that are dumped on our doorsteps at the hospital. You may have seen in the previous episode, this is a huge issue for us, and this particular part of the CNVR programme is really going to help that issue. We are here at Gandhara Temple, which is our third and final location on our mammoth 22-day CNVR programme. We actually did a programme here 3 years ago, whereby the local monk came to our clinic with some sick dogs. They had parvovirus. They'd been dumped here at the temple, which is a common occurrence. He requested free treatment at the hospital, and then he went on to request that we come here and deliver a neutering campaign to his community, which is amazing. We are back 3 years later to continue this good work, and it's incredible that we have his support whilst we're doing that. So the dog catchers have just arrived back at the camp with their second catch of the day. So that's these bunch of doggies behind us. What's going to happen now is that we're going to register them at the reception desk with Lakmini and Asuri. We're going to be registering their exact location. So we use Ep3 words to know exactly where these dogs have come from. We're also taking photos of every dog so that they're recognisable. We can then link that to their microchip. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pre-op check every single dog. So the vets come in, they will make sure they're listening to hearts, checking gum colours, checking for tumours, TVTs, all these things. That is crucial to do prior to anaesthesia. So we want to make sure we're not going to have any issues that are going to cause us further problems down the line with anaesthesia, we want to make sure we've got nice, stable, healthy patients before we're taking them into surgery. So once the dogs have had their vet check and been registered over at reception, the charts then come over here to Aji. He then sets up a tray for every dog. So we've got an anaesthetic chart here with all the details about where the dog's from, etc. He then gets the surgical kit ready based on whether the animal's male or female and what size they are. We also get a surgical blade ready in there. We get our injectable antibiotics there, and microchips, empty syringes ready for rabies vax, empty syringes ready for some pain relief, and an empty plastic bag for our microchip stickers. So basically everything is sorted here. It then gets moved to the table once the dog is transported to the table, and once they're on that surgical table, they are good to go. At WECare, we are always striving to provide international standard veterinary care, and we don't see why street dogs should receive any less than that. Being in the field, it does make it very, very difficult to achieve that level, but it is possible with a lot of effort, a lot of logistics, and a lot of blood, sweat and tears. Like I say, it does make our lives a little bit more difficult because we end up having to bring in quite a lot of equipment, consumables and meds that aren't available here in Sri Lanka in order to achieve this high standard that we're striving for. It is worth it though, you know, we are here to do our very best for these dogs, and if that means just a little bit more effort, we're always happy to go that extra mile. As I said, we import a lot of things for use in this program. Some of those things are actually cleaning products. We cannot get cleaning products in Sri Lanka that target the things that we see a lot in veterinary species here, so distemper, parvo, etc. So we even have to import our cleaning products. We make sure we clean really, really thoroughly in between each patient. Obviously, we don't want this to be a place where they come in healthy and leave sick. So we're really, really tight on our biosecurity and cleaning protocols. Beautiful. So we're just pre-medicating the dog, ready to be moved to the prep table. They have been fully pre-op checked at this point, so Izzy's just restraining and Dr. Magda is delivering the pre-medication dose. So we're here at the prep table, which is where the dogs are getting made ready for surgery. So we're doing a multitude of things here. We're clipping the surgical site, we're preparing it with chlorhexidine for 5 minutes so that the area is sterile. We're doing the ear tip, and we're also applying a collar. So the collar has a number on, that's linked to the area, linked to the microchip. It just makes them really recognisable when we're going around the streets in the immediate aftermath of the programme, doing dog counts to see how many dogs we have neutered. We know exactly how many we've neutered in this programme, but what we want to do is combine that with the numbers on the streets that are already neutered and get a lovely overall picture of what's going on out there and what intervention is required in the future. So this is where the magic happens. This is the surgical area. Our dogs are under anaesthesia. They're being monitored by qualified veterinary nurses. They're being operated on by very experienced vets, and we are so lucky to be able to provide that for these dogs. They're on intravenous fluids throughout, all on drip pumps, using sterile kits. Whilst they're under anaesthesia, they're getting extra pain relief, they're getting some preventative antibiotics, they're getting a microchip placed, and they're also getting their rabies vaccination. We're doing a full MOT at this stage as well, so if they need anything else, if they have a TBT, if they've got a tooth hanging out, this is where we're going to pick up on it and address it. This might be the only time in this dog's life that they receive veterinary care. So this day is designed to get them in the best possible shape to go back on the streets. Dr. Naran's just finished the surgery. He has taken the dog to the recovery kennel. So he's been disconnected from his fluids over there, being brought into this fully monitored recovery pen. We've got 2 lovely volunteers keeping an eye on our dogs as they wake up, and he'll get hooked. She will get hooked up to fluids once she's in there again, so she can have IV fluids throughout her recovery. So we are very much in the field here. It's noisy, it's rainy, you can hear our generator in the background, you can hear our autoclave in the background. What we don't want to do is let standards slip because we're in the field. So we try as hard as we can to maintain surgical principles wherever possible, and that means keeping our kits nice and sterile. So here we are packing our kits using disposable drape material from the UK, using good swabs from the UK, using beautiful surgical equipment that we've purchased and had donated from the UK. in between, every surgery we sterilise these kits, so every single dog is getting a fully sterile surgical kit. That doesn't always happen in neutering programs across the world. Often kits will be used, placed into iodine and then used again for the next dogs. Needs must, so we are very, very, very lucky to have all of this available to us. But that is somewhere where we pride ourselves on going that extra mile to make sure that every single dog has a nice, sterile surgical kit available to them. So the kit is packed here in a very precise manner. It's then brought over here and it's put into our portable autoclave. This steam heats the equipment to a temperature where it basically kills any bacteria. So then this kit is completely sterile by the time it makes its way to the table and to the patient. There is a lot of manpower that goes into these CNVR programs. Just on this program alone, we have 35 staff working. That's alongside the 26 or so that it takes to keep the hospital running while we're doing these programs.
Oh my god, you were Jimmy! We are doing our CNVR 22 days, but that doesn't mean the clinic stops running. So this is a tiny little puppy that has been hit by a car.
We have everyone from vets to nurses to data entry to reception to dog catchers to animal prep. We have a whole host of skills on display here. We're really, really, really lucky with the team that we've got. We have a really great local team that we've been working with over the last 5 years to put on these big CNVR programs. But that is also supplemented by incredible international volunteers and staff who come over and lend us their expertise, often for free, and it's often really long, arduous work. So we're very, very thankful for everyone giving up their time, energies, effort, money to be here and to help all of these dogs. Not only is it a huge WECare staff effort, but the community really, really gets involved too. We would not be able to put on these programs without community support. For example, the landlord of this beautiful guest house who's let us have it for 5 days and bring in hundreds of barking, stinky dogs. All the owners of all the local restaurants who've been plying us with coffees, cakes, keeping us going, giving us food vouchers, and even bringing us the odd beer or two to keep us going through this really, really long program. We are so thankful.
Guys, who's gonna do Dog 1000?
Yay! Dog 1000!
I'm Jason from DOTS and would like to appreciate the WECare representatives and the entire community for doing such a great job here. It's very hard to find such dog shelters around and people who come and neuter such dogs. It's very hard for us to get such things like that being done for stray dogs. But we really appreciate all the effort and the entire staff. Best of luck for everything ahead, and thank you so very much for everything, for what you guys are doing. Love and love and love from DOTS.
So we are just about to take the dogs back. We're actually getting up the what 3 words address so we can put them in the exact location where they were from. Because they're microchipped, we add that information along with a photo and we save it to our database. He's home!
I really appreciate what they are doing as a social work and my professors, so I have to thank for the WECare team, and I need to thank the Smoke and Bitters done also about introducing for them. I wish you good luck for future for WECare.
Hello world, this is Jeremy and Penny from Verse Collective. Big love and thanks to everyone at WECare for doing this amazing initiative. We love you, thank you for all the hard work you do, you are heroes. Thanks.
It's day 22 of the program and these are our last 3 dogs.
Last dog, and this is
my last surgery.
we have neutered 1,129 animals over the course of the last 22 days, which is amazing and exhausting. So thank you so much for watching this episode. If you like what you see, make sure you like, subscribe and turn on those notifications so you don't miss all the action. See you next time.